And we are back. Hello. It's been about 8 months since my last video. We're going to try it again. Road to Immortal, Part 2. Number 2. Without further ado, I don't want to make this video too long, so let's just get into it. Firstly, addressing the haters. Okay. I mean, I don't have that big of a following. We have 66 subscribers and probably 10 people will watch this video. But that being said, there are going to be some people who say, hey, bro, like, if it's been 8 months and you haven't hit Immortal yet, then, you should just give up. Well, you know what? No, I won't give up. I believe that I can be Immortal. There are some things that hold me back, and I think I've worked out all the kinks. So, I mean, you could have said that last time if you watched my my last series. It's on this channel, my Road to Immortal. I think I started that when I was Divine. I got all the way up to Divine 4, about 5,300 MMR. And since then, things have been rough. I dropped all the way back to 3,600 MMR. There's been other things going on in my life. Getting my bachelor's degree in psychology. I have a pretty stable relationship with my significant other. I have other games that I've been playing. I've just been doing other things. So with that, I'll just say that growth is different for each tree. And although I wasn't necessarily grinding MMR these past 8 months, I was doing other things. And I feel as though my time has been well spent doing those other things. So, without further ado, first we need to address the priorities of myself. And to relate this to you, you might have different priorities. Obviously, sleeping and eating are necessary for human survival. But you might have some other things on this list that predate playing, not predate, but hold advantage over playing Dota 2. So without further ado, my priorities will be sleeping, eating, physical activity, working, and interpersonal relationships. Working will be working on YouTube, working at my job, working on whatever, basically. But all of this stuff needs to come before playing Dota 2. Because if you try to just play Dota 2 and forget about all this other stuff, well, you're not going to play very well at all. So, schedule. This is from Northwestern Medicine. I'm not going to read this whole thing. If you want to read it, then feel free to pause the video now and look at this. But this is in relation to working out. There's a lot of notes here that say, like, oh, if you don't do this, you're going to be bad at working out. Think of working out comparable to, practicing Dota and getting that MMR. If you try to play on an empty stomach, you're going to play badly. If you try to play on 2 hours of sleep, you're going to play badly. You want to be efficient with your uses of time, and you want to maximize those games that you play by playing to the best of your ability. And more on binge queuing later, and as to why that's not really that good for you. So moving on to the next slide, I've developed the 3-12 method. So in ranked, this obviously goes away once you reach a certain MMR. You'll be top level Immortal, and there won't really be role queue anymore. But as we all know, when we try to play Dota, there's a role queue system. So in order to play the games that you want to play on the roll, say you want to play carry, you first have to play a couple of role queue games where you play all 5 roles. This is just a system in place just so that, finding games doesn't take 2 hours, because there's not enough people who play support primarily. So the 3-12 method would be 3 games of role queue and 12 games of on roll, and that would equal out to about 15 games a week, managing about a 60% win rate. I will reach Immortal. It will just take some time. And alternatives of this would be the 4-16 method, which I Thought it might work out, but I feel like that's just too much Dota in a week. That's 20 games. There's also the 2-8 method, etc. It doesn't really matter. I just thought that if I play 5 days a week, 3 games, I could also play 4 days a week at about 4 games, and that'd make me play 16 games a week. But it's flexible, right? The 3-12 method is just in place so that I'm not binge queuing, which is basically the biggest thing that keeps me back. What is binge queuing, you might ask? Binge queuing is bad. Binge queuing is very bad because if you try to play piano for 10 hours straight, you're not going to play too well. If you try to play basketball for 10 hours straight, you're not going to play too well. And if you try to play Dota for 10 hours straight, you're not going to play very well. Granted, there are some games above and below this page that also attributed to the games played on September 28th. Let's just say I played Dota all day and I lost most of my games. And as a result, I was really sad. And then the next day I felt as though, I have to get that MMR back because I lost so many games the day prior. What happens if you queue responsibly? Well, it looks somewhat like this. If you're wondering what that blue thing is on the far right, well, that's Storm Spirit's hand. He's featured on my Dota profile. So the disciplined queue, on the 8th I played 2 games. On the 9th I played 3 games. On the 10th I played 4 games. 11th I played 2 games. Looks more like this, and you can kind of see I'm also playing around the same time. Aside from the games on the 10th, most of my games were in the morning. So, yeah, I think that these are the factors that will enable me to reach the next level. Here are some of the goals that we have to hit. So, current MMR is 3990. Not very good, but not too bad. I'm right below 4K. I started thinking about this more critically. I got to around 3,600. This was like 2 weeks ago. So in 2 weeks, I've climbed 400 MMR. Ancient 3 would be 4158. Ancient 4, 4312, going down and down. Once you get to Divine 5, you just have to rank in the top 2,000, and then you're a registered Immortal player. So that's roughly around 5,600 MMR. Doing the math there, I need about 1,600 MMR to reach Immortal, and that would be 54 straight consecutive wins. Are we going to get 54 straight consecutive wins? No. But if I did my 15 games a week, if I won all my games, I'd be Immortal in a month if I'm playing 15 games a week. I don't think I'm going to have a 100% win rate. I'm suspecting between 60 to 70% win rate. I'm going to call it right there. Yes, I will win 60 to 70% of my games because I have been through these ranks. I was molded in this trench, born in it, if you will. If you watch BSJ, if you watch CCNC, these people, they don't know what it is to suffer through the trenches. No matter how many videos BSJ makes about how he can escape the trench very easily, he doesn't live in it like we do. So we have that to our advantage. I know these people. I know what makes them tick, and I will easily become Immortal. I'm not going to give myself a time limit. I feel like that was also a problem with my last series. I said, I will be Immortal by this day. I'm not going to really do that. I have other things I'm working on in my life, relationships. This is just a thing I will be doing on the side. And if you would like to join me in this journey, it will be twitch.tv/Ryan's Reviews. Yes, it is called Ryan's Reviews, not D2E Enthusiasts. If you want to go subs to my YouTube channel, it will be called Ryan's Reviews as well. Links in the description. All right. Thank you very much. And let's get to it.